Hello everybody. Well, the Warriors closed out a close game against the scrappy, severely understaffed Miami Heat, and they had it within 4 with the ball with 4 minutes to go, and the Warriors closed out with defense, and in particular Draymond Green really took over with his defense. So let's have a look at how things unfolded. Wing pick and roll for Herro. The Warriors play ice, which means Wiggins is positioning himself to force Herro away from the screen and try to force the drive to be towards the big defender who is dropped back. And Herro says, fine, I'm going to attack before Looney can get anywhere close to me. And he actually gets around both of them, so that's not bad. But Draymond Green is sitting under the basket as a drive deterrent, and he plays this interestingly. Herro drives right at him, but Draymond does not go up to meet Herro. He just stays positioned on the left side of this basket. I think Draymond is calculating that Wiggins is behind Herro, and so if Herro goes up for a layup here, Wiggins can go for a block. And if Draymond rotates all the way over here, then Herro can either go under the basket for reverse layup, or he can make the pass to PJ Tucker in the corner. So Draymond says, forget that, I'm just going to stay here on the left side of the basket, and if Herro can finish a layup in the trees, go for it. Otherwise, I'm going to intercept any kind of outlet pass that he tries to throw. So here he comes, and Draymond seems to be reading this all the way, and Herro winding up this pass, and we'll never quite know who it's to. I assume it's to PJ Tucker, but Draymond, this is a beautiful shot. You can see he just gets his hand right on it. And if you run this in slow motion, then it does look like Herro recovers the ball after Draymond gets his hand on it, and then with his other hand, he kind of shovels the pass, I think, to Guy. So you see now, Draymond has knocked the ball free, and then Herro is going to use his right hand to just kind of push it. And he's having to make a rather difficult computation here, because the natural pass is to throw it to PJ Tucker, but he can see that Jordan Poole is in the process of closing out to PJ Tucker and might get into the passing lane. So I think Herro is in mid-air while bobbling the ball, trying to switch his pass over to Guy, and it ends up in the stands. So probably if they reviewed that, they might see that Herro shot-putted that into the stands, but the referee's going to call that it's actually still Heat ball and it was off of Draymond. For Yurtseven, he doesn't screen hard enough to get Wiggins off of Lowry. The Yurtseven splits, but Wiggins says, fine, you call that a screen? I get screen harder than that in practice. And furthermore, this is an interesting decision, but Draymond is trying to split the difference between Lowry and Yurtseven, between the sevens. And they just end up putting this double team pressure on Lowry as he comes through, and I really don't think Lowry was expecting this. If he was completely aware of what was going on, he might realize that Yurtseven had gone unguarded to the basket. Here he seems to be looking at PJ Tucker, but good old Steph here is bolting out hard to try to intercept any such pass. I think even if Lowry had gotten the lob over Wiggins, he broke up the last lob, he could have definitely gotten up to contest this unless it was a perfect lob, which is asking a lot of Lowry with his back to the ball. So Steph has cut off this corner pass, Draymond is in his face, Wiggins was bugging him and then also was peeling back to cover Yurtseven, and most importantly, the shot clock's down to 2.5, so Lowry just has to hoist this. I like how Wiggins was boxing out, but this just takes a very unfortunate skim bounce off the basket, and Yurtseven goes up and gets this big offensive rebound. Then I really like this read by him. Good cut and a beautiful little bounce pass, and it takes almost everyone by surprise except for Draymond. Draymond sees all, and he just makes this incredible swipe down to knock the ball free. Bang. He's going to whiz by everyone for this layup, right? But then Draymond gets his hand on it. Bam! All ball. Beautiful. Okay, and now it's trouble. The swipey is complaining to the referee, and the replay there's actually nothing to complain about, and that's going to leave numbers advantage. Poole hustling, GP2 hustling. This is a 2-on-1. Steph has the ball, and he's going to see this all the way. I really like this play by Poole. The quiet play that he didn't make a couple plays ago. He threw this absolutely highlight-worthy alley-oop pass to Gary Payton II. which GP2 did not convert, and it cost the Warriors an easy basket in a close game. And so this time, Poole trying to size up what Lowry's going to do, and he just makes the fundamental play. He dribbles in on the side. I think he's just checking, okay, is this guy going to try to undercut me and try to take a charge, or is he just playing to stop the pass to GP2? And in the end, he just dribbles right in. Really nice finish against a tricky defender. Next time down, Herro taking Steph one-on-one, but in the Warriors defense, you're never really one-on-one. Steph wants to force Herro down the sideline to attack from this kind of angle so Draymond can meet him there. Good ball pressure from Steph, staying with Herro, keeping him on the sideline, and forces Herro into this kind of weird bobble. Draymond's rotating to cover Herro in this drive. The referee's right over here. That's the multitasking you expect from Defensive Player of the Year. Not only playing the high-level defense, but also the high-level complaining at the same time. He got in a lot of waves with his hands. That was impressive. Steph doing a really good job funneling Herro along this path to get him to be met by Draymond. And then Draymond's going to go wide with his wingspan. Herro does a heroic job just to get the ball out of there. Now things get temporarily confused in the Warriors defense because Steph handed Herro off to Draymond, and now Herro is wandering off in the wilderness here. Steph has picked up a new man. He's on Martin. Wiggins seems to be on Yurtseven. So the question is, who's on Herro? And Herro decides to make the most of this, and he's going to take a pin down from PJ Tucker. PJ Tucker blocking Jordan Poole like an offensive lineman. He's just using his hands all over the place on Jordan Poole. And Jordan Poole, like a linebacker, is doing all this stuff to get past him. He tries to spin on him. He's just going left and right. And I don't think it was strictly legal screen, but impressive job to keep Jordan Poole on that side. And Herro is going to spring free. And look at where Draymond is. He's under the basket when this cut starts. He covers so much ground. Draymond sees all. Ball goes right to Herro, and then Draymond trying to get there in time. Bang! He blocks the shot. That is just awesome defense. Steph hustles and picks up this rebound, but Tucker goes right up to him, bodies him, and knocks him out of bounds, uncalled. You know, it just was not Steph's day. This is one of the worst shooting days I've ever seen him have. He got those 2 early fouls and just never got into rhythm. And even his after the whistle shots were not going in, or on those moving screens. I think he missed all those shots. Some days you just don't have it, but he did have a lot of gravity, made a lot of great passes, and didn't try to overdo it. In this case, this is an unfortunate play. As he's falling out of bounds, he tries to save it. Goes right to Yurtseven. Good hustle. PJ Tucker here doing a little dribble handoff to Herro, who turns the corner. Herro's defender is stuck here. Steph closes out hard in case Herro pulled up for a 3 over here. So Herro's going to drive past him. This puts Draymond in a tricky situation because Herro is driving at him. Draymond could come and meet this, but Draymond is currently guarding Yurtseven, and you know Herro is dying to throw this lob to Yurtseven to dunk it. So Draymond somehow has to split this difference by deterring this drive and guarding Yurtseven. Draymond just says, I'm not going to meet your drive. I'm just going to stay right here. And Herro dribbles over and is like, okay, you're not going to come meet me? I guess I'm going to have to shoot this. And even though Herro's an excellent jump shooter, I don't think this is game, this running off the dribble one-hand floater. Draymond manages to turn and also box out Yurtseven on this. Steph doing a good job trying to get inside position on PJ Tucker. And then this wild scramble for the ball, GP2 ends up with it. Draymond on this play has to track Yurtseven while also tracking Lowry. Lowry's just going to drive on Wiggins while Yurtseven sneaks behind Draymond. There's Draymond. He just snuck a peek. He knows that Yurtseven is behind him, but I don't think he knows exactly where. The Lowry bullies his way in alongside Wiggins. Draymond has rotated to deter any kind of drive. Yurtseven, in the meantime, he was over here, and maybe he was threatening to set a back screen on Draymond, but now in fact he's gone to the opposite post, and Lowry finds him with a nice bounce pass. Yurtseven's got the ball. Draymond's behind a step. He's also behind a half foot in height. Yurtseven goes up for the big time dunk on Draymond. Oof. That was a pure block. Sweet view of the inside out dribble. You see how Poole's got his hand on this side of the ball. It definitely looks like he's trying to do a crossover and go this way to take the screen from Draymond. And then he's going to swivel his hand so now it's on this side of the ball, so now he can push it this way. And Lowry is going to absolutely believe it. Then he's going to be frozen when Poole goes the other way. Boom. You know from my previous videos that Poole's main celebration is to freeze his face in a kind of surprise pose. This time he's doing some kind of two-arm flexing of his muscles and freezing his face in a mean mug. And he's holding it. Yeah, I think his face is going to get stuck like that. Let's see how the bench is doing after that dunk by Jordan Poole. They're kind of all doing variations of the hold me back. That was so great, I want to storm the court. In fact, they actually are storming the court. I guess there's not very good holding back. We got someone holding someone's jacket to hold them back. These guys seem to be mutually leaning on each other like, hold me back, that was crazy. I don't know, I think they got to work on that one. Jordan Poole got up, you know, he's already gotten up off the floor and his face is still in this position. I told you his face was going to freeze in this position if he kept on making faces like that.